everybody, and welcome back to the CCA League. I am DRF, joined by my co-commentator for this match, Vapor, and we are live with a double header for you all. First up, we are going to be having UCSD Esports taking on the Comet Blasters of UT Dallas. I mean, man, this match has been in the making. This is a week 1 matchup that had to be rescheduled early on, but we are finally getting to it, and I'm so excited to see these two teams finally meet for the first time after the Booyah Bowl back in January. Yeah, it does. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what these teams end up bringing out here, because this could be, a great map to have some sloshes be coming out, rollers. I think notably UCSD not having CD Woomy today. That is going to be pretty interesting to see how UCSD sort of makes adjustments appropriately. So that's one of the key slayers here, so definitely anticipate either Sunlight or Mofugami trying to pick up some of that slack there. On the side of the Comet Blasters, definitely, we've only had one opportunity to see them so far in this league, but let's go ahead and take a look at what these teams are bringing out here, Vapor.
To that octo shot and just chilling here in mid, finding a pick onto Nito on that tri-slosher. This splash, especially with these huge hills here on top mid, will definitely help them out to their advantage.
Yeah, and so very quickly now, we do see end up picking up this Rainmaker. It looks like they are going to try to push this right, but look at Seekin just sharking there right now, waiting for an opportunity there, and they're going to actually go all the way around to try to surprise the UCSD team, but Sunlight already ready for them. And now with 2 down on the side of UT Dallas, this could be another opportunity here for UCSD to continue to push, but a beautifully placed bomb there is going to allow Clang to get that pick and slow down this effort from UCSD, as that they are now going to be second guessing this push here. Rainmaker going to reset, and now both these teams just trying to get back control of mid.
Yeah, and we saw that pop go quickly in favor of the Comet Blasters, Seekin finding another pick there. But with the Comet Blasters ready to make a push of their own, they just need to find picks, and if they could get around that pillow and up that ramp even a little bit, they are looking nice and pretty right here.
Yeah, and take a look at Enda here trying to make a move, but not going to be able to do so. This is going to be a huge push for UT Dallas, able to bring that all the way down to 42 points remaining. Mofugami cleaning up business though, able to shut down that push once and for all. 42 points remaining, a solid push for the first half of this game, but like you said early on before this match had started, Rainmaker or Muscle Forge, anything really can happen. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these teams end up responding, because 42 is not safe by any means.
Yeah, even pushing all the way up to 12 on this map isn't safe, to be honest. And it's more of a game for getting kills here on Muscle Forge Rainmaker. We did note beforehand that UCSD doesn't have their main Slayer CD Woomy on the Carbon Roller here this week. So it's going to be a little bit tougher for them to make a push, unless they can find a few picks, as they end up taking 2 members of the Comet Blasters down and pushing up, getting some points on the board.
Yeah, and now UCSD going to pick up this Rainmaker here, and they are leading off this push. Can they get the lead? GoChow going to try to go for it there, but no, they're going to fall just 2 points shy. But UCSD does still have 2 members who end up coming in for the jump as well. They just need to grab this and move it forward a couple inches. Then there it is. That is the lead, plus a lot on top of it, bringing that all the way down to 15 points remaining. A fantastic push for UCSD to get that lead, and that is a much more commanding lead that could really be held. This is typically the type of winning push you would see, but knockouts are definitely very common on this map mode combination, so it's still anyone's game, as UT Dallas just needs one solid push to possibly get that lead back and secure the knockout, because let's face it, in this one you're never safe unless you knock out for sure.
For real, and like, you said that basically perfectly. A bad 30 seconds could be game-changing, and with UT Dallas going one down, they need to pop armor and just hold control right here. If they lose control, it is basically almost over for them. As that Tri-Slosher goes down, Mofugami and the brush of UCSD just trying to collapse on the members of UT Dallas, but Seekins there, finding the pick onto that Splash-O-Matic and trying to find that brush, who is able to find the Octa shot onto the Comet Blaster.
Oh man, and look at all of these different specials coming out right now. All these teams, both of these teams just really trying to get control of mid here, because that's what's going to, lead off these last 30 seconds here, especially for UT Dallas, who is playing from behind right now. So unfortunately for them, they are facing a 2-down situation, but Seekin doing a fantastic job of just keeping the pressure up and forcing UCSD to second guess any moves that they are making there. But no, it's going to be Gochow that comes in with a crucial pick there with 15 seconds to play. Can UT Dallas get back in the mid in time? No, it looks like they're going to start making a desperation play here, and I don't think they're going to get to this Rainmaker in time. Oh, they do.
Oh, they grabbed it up at the very last second. Gochow did pop those missiles a bit early, so they don't have any specials for this defense, but Enda just rushing that Rainmaker, stalling for their teammates to get back into mid, as there are 3 members of UT Dallas right on top of mid, finding one pick onto Mofugami. Sunlight getting collapsed on by UT Dallas. It's only Enda and Gochow. Gochow going down, Enda going down. That is a full wipe on the side of UCSD. And this is the time for the Comet Blasters to make a push. But Sunlight unable to make the save. Comet Blasters taking an overtime victory.
Oh my goodness. What a come from behind victory for the Comet Blasters. I mean, who would have expected that in the closing 15 seconds there? They were 2 down, delayed 3 down. That game seemed like it was over. But no, the Comet Blasters picking up the Rainmaker at, I think, literally the last millisecond possible to give themselves a chance. And that's all they needed. They just needed that chance. And from there, played it very patiently. That was how you make a come from behind victory in Rainmaker in overtime. Textbook definition right there. Phenomenal job by the Comet Blasters. Just forced UCSD to get a little bit anxious and, play overly aggressive. I mean, we saw early on, Endo took a 1v3 there to try to shut down that Rainmaker, but wasn't able to make the play and forced a lot of mistakes out of UCSD. Phenomenal job from the Comet Blasters.
Yeah, and probably the mindset Enda had there was to go rush the Rainmaker, allow their teammates to try to push into mid, but not realizing that there were 3 members of UT Dallas there. Enda wasn't able to come off with that pick, and the members of UCSD couldn't take that mid control back as they were just outnumbered in that situation.
Yeah, they really were, so UCSD definitely left picking up the pieces after that one. So now they're looking for answers here. I mean, we already see them in this lobby completely readied up, so it doesn't seem like the game plan's going to be changing a whole lot. Meanwhile, UT Dallas really taking a lot of time here to consider their options. So, a little bit of, I guess, interesting chess play here, where I would have thought it'd be the other way around. UCSD trying to figure out what went wrong there, how can we approach this differently. But alas, Clamblets on the Reef is our game number 2. Let's take a look at what these teams bring out for us here.
UT Dallas were probably excited after that last game here. and they just wanted to take some time to cool down. UCSD, we know them, we love them. Mufugami on that dually Squelchers, and Bubbles coming out from Enda on that Forge Pro, Squeezer from Jimby for UT Dallas.
Yeah, that squeezer is definitely going to be pretty big here. You know, it has just that great balance of, you know, range, and the bubbles are going to be fantastic for this push as well. We do see that Forge Pro coming out on the side of UCSD as well, so definitely anticipate bubbles being the key to both of these teams' pushes as they, you know, hopefully get a couple of picks, have those specials built up, and just push in from that streak. So early on here, nobody really going down. Of course, as I say that, Nito gonna be the first blood, I believe, in the game. And both these teams just really trying to establish control of this bridge and pick up whatever clams they can, and hopefully let the other team fall into some waiting arms to get a couple of quick picks that could lead into a push. Mofugami overextending there just a tad to 3 members of UT Dallas. But look at this play from behind. UCSD going to be coming in with a surprise clam there. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any follow-up, though. So it's just going to be a one-and-done push for UCSD, which, you know, not really what you want to see if you're UCSD right now. This is going to give UT Dallas an opportunity to pick up some more clams.
Well, look at Sunlight, though, trying to come from behind, unable to get any of them. 3 members there, easily turning on the Sunlight very quickly. But with the members of UT Dallas just popping those missiles ready to go, trying to separate the members of UCSD and open up a push.
Yeah, but they are 1 member down right now, so it is going to be a little bit of a tricky push if they try to make it. And no, it looks like that their squeezer goes down with a clam, so UT Dallas going to be forced to surrender that power clam, but they do get 2 picks there, which could be pretty big for them if they want to try to get back in, but they don't really have the clams to do so yet. They do have that pity clam waiting underneath the basket should they try to make a play with that, but alas, it looks like they're just going to continue to be patient here and wait for another opportunity as Mofugami's going to be going down from a secant bomb, and that is, this could be the push that UT Dallas is now looking for.
Oh, but going 2 down on their side, they were able to take down 3 members of UCSD, but with no clams in their favor going 2 down on their own side, it's hard for them to make a push here as UT Dallas trying to push up this closed area, 3 bombs being popped out, and with all these bombs, Jimmy and Kling just trying to work together, Secret coming through that tree area, popping some missiles of their own. 3 members down on the side of UCSD, and make that a delayed wipe. This is going to go downhill from here.
Yeah, this is a huge push now from UT Dallas as they managed to get that missed power clam early on and have followed up with it as well. So a pretty solid lead for them as that basket is going to close though. So a little bit of relief for UCSD because they were definitely looking at a much bigger deficit there for a moment following that wipe. I think they're kind of lucky right now to only be down about, what, 33 clams?
Yeah, so something like that. But one thing I didn't really say beforehand, which we need to note out here, UT Dallas has a little bit more paint than UCSD, so it's going to be hard for them to do anything map control wise without getting kills. Mofugami able to find a double there, but UCSD needs to find the picks and get as much map control as they can. Once they take down 1 member of UT Dallas, they could get map control back easily.
Yeah, they really are going to have to rely on getting some picks here. And now they are slowly trying to just, you know, hold mid here. UCSD really with no clams, though, to make anything happen quite yet. So I think first step, like you were saying, is, you know, they need to get a couple of picks and hopefully pick up some of the clams dropped by UT Dallas because they had 17 in their pockets. Dynamo going to be going down, dropping a few clams. And now with Bubbles coming out on the side of UT Dallas as well, UCSD going to have to play a little bit cautiously here. Able to shut down those Bubbles, though, pretty well. 30 seconds to play, and UCSD hopefully looking for an answer here. But UT Dallas doing a great job of just keeping their defenses up and not letting anyone from UCSD slip through.
Mofugami was able to come from that left tree, though, able to find the pick onto the power clam for UT Dallas here, and throwing some bubbles out, needing one clam to build up that power clam. Does grab that clam, throws it in the basket, but they need some follow-up, but it's going to be really hard for them going 2 down.
Oh, but here's the jump! Goat Child able to throw in 1, but no! That's a wipe on the side of UCSD, and the basket will close, and so will their chances of coming from behind to win this one. The Comet Blasters making a statement here in these first 2 games, saying, hey, you remember the time that we played the Booyah Bowl where we sort of beat you guys, even though that you were the favorite? Yeah, that's still true here. Because I mean, they've had UCSD's number in both these games so far.
It was more in favor for UCSD in that first game, though. Like, they had the geometry, and they just needed to not have a bad 30 seconds. UT Dallas just better coordinated throughout that whole game, especially once we hit that halfway point. UCSD was just unable to get back into the stage. But heading here, Splatzo's Mechamart, we have been seeing UCSD, once they get control, they're able to hold it for a decent chunk of time. This might favor them out a little bit, but they need to find a way to get back into the zone when they do get locked out themselves.
Yeah. So, man, this one's gonna be pretty interesting here. Cause I don't really know what sorts of adjustments UCSD needs to make at this point. Cause like you said in the last one, they were getting outpainted, which I think contributed to some of those problems. And it seemed like, you know, both teams were getting a fair share amount of picks. I just think a lot of UCSD's woes right now are coming about the way they push the objective. So I feel like that might be what they need to, you know, reset here mentally, is how do we push this objective as a team? Because we saw a lot of, you know, great individual plays, but it really seemed like that coordinated effort was sort of missing there, because that's what UT Dallas has been doing better than UCSD in both of these games so far. So UCSD really needs to come up with a response here if they want to keep themselves in the set, because no one wants to be facing an 0-3 deficit.
During one of those Reef Comet Blaster pushes, they were able to just separate the members of UCSD, separated, I'm pretty sure it was Mofugami on the one side far away from the basket, so they weren't able to help on defense at all. And UT Dallas has just been extremely good at keeping the members of UCSD separated. Mofugami going to a Ninja Squid, this Neo Splash here, and end on that tech going down very early on.
Yeah, so UCSD find themselves in a familiar hole here. Sunlight working on building up some of that armor, but doesn't really have the numbers to be taking any fights here, so they get shut down by the Burst Bomb combo of Nito's Tri-Slosher. So that's gonna, you know, really put UCSD on the back foot here, as Nito's starting to overextend just a tad. Had a couple of good looks there, but just wasn't able to convert any of them. And now with 2 down on the side of UT Dallas, UCSD should be able to flip this zone with this suction bomb rush coming out of Mofugami. But UT Dallas doing a fantastic job right now of holding this zone. UCSD finally able to convert that into their first cap of the zone. And now, looks like with these numbers in their position right now, they should be able to put some significant points on the board. But with UT Dallas having 3 specials online, this could go the other way very quickly.
It really much can. Mofugami pushing up into this 96 gal, but with 2 members here now, trying to at least come out with one of them going down, unable to get any of them. 3 up on each side, and that tent umbrella is probably going to be the key for UCSD to win here. Once that tent umbrella gets set up on the right stack down mid, they could just zone out the members of UT Dallas, but it's going to be really hard for UCSD. They have the killing power. They have everything they've been struggling at. It's just finding a way to take out that Tri-Slosher and Doolies, because they can come at you from weird angles.
Whew. Ooh, and Enda coming out with a nice hammer there, somehow escaping death and somehow chasing down this dualies all the way in their own base to get that nice double there, flip the zone back in their favor. So now UCSD working on this penalty, but UT Dallas hanging right around this zone, really close to neutralizing it, but they haven't been able to do so quite yet. If UT Dallas could really get one pick here, this could flip right back in their favor.
And they do find the pick on the splash, but end up going down, being that tri-slosher. And finding a pick onto Enda as well. Plus another onto Goatchild, leaving the 96 last one alive. And this is now a downhill battle for UCSD. And it's going to be a struggle for them to get back in. They need to build up some specials, work as a team, and find a way to get this 96 off their snipe now.
Yeah, luckily they retreated on their own there for UCSD. But with 25 points left on the ticker here for UT Dallas and 2 down for UCSD, this is going to be a tough one for them to come back from. We do see a couple bombs coming out trying to neutralize the zone, able to do so momentarily. Missiles coming out as well, but can they flip the zone? Yes, they do. So that is going to be a little bit of relief there for UCSD, but now they need to hold this zone, but they can't seem to keep the numbers up to do so, as that is going to be 3 down yet again for UCSD. And UT Dallas back in control of this zone. Plenty of penalty though to work with, so that is going to buy UCSD just a little bit of time, but UT Dallas just been so commanding here in this game as well, setting the pace for both these teams to play at, and just no solid response yet from UCSD, barring that early first counter push.
Yeah, and UCSD, what they've been trying to work on here recently, they've been trying to have Mofugami on that splash go around for a flame, and have the other 3 members just work the front side. It's been working a little bit. That's how they got the original caps, but the 3 in front, I've just been going down, losing some 3v4 battles.
And there we go, 3 down though on the side of UT Dallas. So UCSD finally getting a good look here at controlling this zone and getting a couple of crucial picks. So I think the panic finally set in and they are making plays happen, but UT Dallas does have 3 specials online. The armor already popped out there. And the splashdown canceled. That is a huge pick for UCSD. But can they hold on to this zone? 15 seconds to play. There is the lead. Can they secure the knockout as well? Yes, they do. Phenomenal back and forth play from both of these teams. UT Dallas threw everything plus the kitchen sink at that zone to try to flip it back. But UCSD somehow, some way got some crazy crucial picks there, especially that splashdown cancel to keep control of the zone and just put everything into holding the zone like their life depended on it.
Yeah, and having that 10th umbrella being the key to win was definitely true. They had the ink mines on the zone. They were holding that front side as well, paired up with Goatchild, Mofugami, and Sunlight. I'm pretty sure that was just on that right stack, just making sure everyone's tunneling to that right side if possible. So they run right into Mofugami and Sunlight, unable to get back into the zone. Very good team play by UCSD.
Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal job there. Both of these teams so far in this set have just made such incredible plays that have defined each and every single game. Game 1, UT Dallas playing so patient in that overtime push. Game 2, we saw UT Dallas once again with a very solid push there, very well coordinated, and that ended up being the defining push, followed by some solid defense. And lastly here, UCSD coming from behind, throwing everything they had at that zone to keep UT Dallas from flipping it back in their favor. So just one really defining moment in each of these games that sort of dictated the outcome so far. Leading us to game 4 here, tower control on Manta Maria.
This is going to be Splatling favored, that's for sure. But I don't think we're going to see a Splatling at all. We know Seekit for their insane dually plays. We know Nito for a good Tri-Slasher, which isn't bad on this stage either. It's just what does UCSD have in mind to fight the members of UT Dallas? And this may favor UT Dallas a bit more because UCSD have been good at holding what's behind them, but moving forward with an objective is definitely one of their struggles.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this one. So I think really the only notable adjustment here, I think Seekin coming out with those Tetras and Enda coming out with the K Rapid. And look at Seekin already making a move in the street, but unfortunately going to find two members of UCSD there that was called out very quickly. So that is going to result in them going down there. But oh, Klang with the K-Pro getting a nice sneaky pick there on Mofugami. So now this zone is just going to continue to stay in mid. UT Dallas actually going to take a swing here at trying to push this tower and able to do so with 3 down. A bubble in a really interesting position there on the tower. Don't think I've seen that one before. But this first checkpoint for UT Dallas should fall with no problem.
The jump and finishing off that checkpoint, playing up into this upper left snipe as well, just throwing that 3 bomb in the corner, forcing Sunlight to either go down or just run into the K-Pro shots. And stuck on the side alone as well. Goat Child going down. This is a rough situation for UCSD as they are just staggering at this point. Tower control definitely plays like splat zones a little bit, but with how UCSD was playing that game, that's more of a splat zones how you play or a Rainmaker how you play. Not really tower control. They played so aggressive, just rushing that tower and not even realizing that the objective is moving towards them. They just got picked off after picked off and ended up staggering, giving UT Dallas the upper hand there.
Yeah, so 3-1 now is the story as we head into game number 5, Rainmaker on Wahoo World. Comet Blasters, I mean, had a fantastic final push there. Well, I guess it was really one push that, one and final push for UT Dallas that just was a clean knockout there. You know, UCSD just tried to once again throw everything at it once they were facing that major deficit, but saw themselves getting staggered. Ultimately, that's not the situation you want to put yourself in. So now they see themselves in this 1-3 hole and need to win 3 straight to win this set.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for UCSD here, but hey, work together as a team, get that reset mind going. It's not over until the set is done.
Yeah, no, that is definitely really true because you can't give up. We've seen crazier things happen in the Splatoon community. You know, reverse sweeps in a 7-game series, reverse sweeps in 9-game series in Ludi. It's possible. So UCSD just needs to keep their head in the game and try to slow down UT Dallas, and UT Dallas just needs to keep this momentum up. Splatoon definitely is a momentum-based game, especially when your team is hot. Like, you have the other team guessing, or second-guessing themselves, and you need to punish that, and UT Dallas needs to take advantage of that here with UCSD reeling right now.
Honestly, and with it, UT Dallas having multiple different types of comps, like we see Nito now on that splash, ditching off that Tri-Slosher. Seek it with those Tetris still. You gotta keep an eye on them. You gotta watch your flanks. Skirmishers are just crucial, especially on such a large stage.
Yeah, and I really like the switch from Nito to the Splash because we know Nito for that Tri-Slosher, but the Splash definitely, I think, is a much more advantageous pick here. The Tri-Slosher definitely has its struggles. There's still a place for the Tri-Slosher here, but I definitely think this is a fantastic pick to, help lead pushes, especially in some tight spaces going uphill on those ramps. If they can get a nice, good, convincing push going, I think they'll see the dividends pay out.
Yeah, or even that bomb rush. 3 suctions get that pop almost instantly. And with UCSD going 3 down, last one being Mofugami getting picked off behind that Rainmaker. Bomb rush coming out, trying to lead CK on this Rainmaker. And getting a really good push to start us off here. 34 remain.
Yeah, that's a pretty good push there, and in Wahoo World, that can definitely be a game-winning push, actually. It's definitely pretty tough to get up this ramp in Wahoo World, and this really could be the push. So UCSD can have 3.5 minutes to respond here. Looks like they're going to actually go for this Rainmaker reset, but it's definitely already an uphill battle.
For sure, and just getting shots off, trying to get an early pop here, but picked off by that foil squeezer from Jinbi, and looking for another, picking off Mofugami as well. 2 down on the side of UCSD, and with another grab by the Comet Blasters, they're just ready to go. But Sunlight finding a pick onto that squeezer, trying to slow down this push from the Comet Blasters, but with only Mofugami alive, it's going to be really hard to make it even further. But with a triple right there, oh my goodness, Mofugami.
Wow, Mofugami putting the team on his back there. To try to keep themselves in it, only letting 3 more points slip in a 1v4 situation, able to get 3 fantastic picks there based on that positioning. So now it gives themselves a chance with 3 specials online. UCSD could try to make something happen here. The rain being popped out maybe a little bit early, I think. But hopefully they could utilize that push up just a tad and hopefully get a couple of picks. Missiles coming out as well. UT Dallas having to scatter just a little bit. And the Rainmaker grab as well. Gonna hopefully give them some opportunities to get a couple of picks here. Only getting 1 so far. Make that 2. And this could be what UCSD is looking for. But take a look at Seekin underneath the carousel there. But no. Gonna get shut down there. But look at Klang. The positioning from Klang there to stop the Rainmaker. No one from UCSD saw that one coming. And now UCSD definitely having to keep the numbers up here. That is the first priority. But look at this push going. Can they get the lead? No, they're going to be 8 points shy. And this push is going to be held up for now.
One thing I want to see more is Sunlight on the brush working with Mofugami. Like, getting the aggression off is what they need right now, especially on Rainmaker. Goatchild's going to have to back up with and just keep the members of UT Dallas back. But just the pressure output. Dually Sculptures and the Octobrush both can be categorized as skirmishers. Let's see them skirmish and slay at the same time.
1 minute to play now, and time is slowly running out for UCSD. UT Dallas just needs to put up a strong defensive effort here in the closing minute, but 2 down on the side of UT Dallas is going to give UCSD an opportunity here. A little bit of overextending as well, but Enda going to fall right into the hands of a bomb, and with a little bit of a desperation play, it seemed, it's going to result in 3 down for UCSD. 30 seconds to go, but there is that beacon there, which should allow UCSD to have a couple of jump-ins there, but no, it does get taken out as Mofugami dancing around these members of UT Dallas, somehow staying alive, able to get the pick as well. 20 seconds to play, and look at UT Dallas backing this Rainmaker up all the way into their base, and they're going to just try to hold this here.
Yeah, but this is still very dangerous. If one of those members can come up the ramp and UT Dallas getting picked off, it's still going to be very scary. Nito getting picked off. The Rainmaker resets because of the timer. That is huge for UT Dallas right now. Even though they didn't get the win there, that forces UCSD to move all the way back into mid and restart a full push.
Wow. What, what a crazy sequence of events there. And now UCSD has just a limited time to make something happen here, but no! The Rainmaker gets shut down, and UT Dallas will survive game number 5 and take the set. 4-1.
Who was that? Was that Nito that shut it down? Whoever the Rainmaker was just zoomed by. I'm pretty sure that was Nito, and Nito just went for a quick 180 turn, getting a huge pick, stopping that Rainmaker. If Nito or whoever that person was didn't get that pick, that was game for UCSD.
Yeah, I mean, just constant. Honestly, I'm honestly at a little bit of a loss for words there, but just the constant clutch plays from UT Dallas to keep themselves in each and every single game. Just you honestly have to give it to them. That was fantastic. UCSD was knocking on the door several times throughout that set, just was never able to break through. So unfortunately for UCSD, just never found that opportunity. But UT Dallas, I mean, did a fantastic job just with positioning alone, because we saw in that last game there, almost everyone on UCSD outslayed the members of UT Dallas, but UT Dallas came out on top because they made the plays when they mattered most.
Yeah, and UCSD's main target throughout this whole set, because they didn't really have as much paint as UT Dallas the whole time, was to get the kills. It's just the paint from UT Dallas, plus all the pressure they had with the dualies as an option to flank, the Tri-Slosher having weird angles, especially on multiple of the maps that we've seen in the set. It was definitely an uphill battle from the start. UCSD still played that very well, though.
Yeah, so a great set though, and depending on the outcome of the second match in the doubleheader, we could see this matchup again in the playoffs. So only time will tell though.
For sure. But with that, let's take a quick break. I am heading out though. You guys can find me over streaming a tournament here in about an hour. But you guys can also find me on Twitter and Twitch at V4P0R_SPL. DRF will be back with you guys for the next set. But stay tuned. UT Dallas versus Penn State University coming up.
Hello, yeah, hello everybody, and welcome back to the CCA League doubleheader. We have our next matchup ready for you all here. UT Dallas now going to be taking on Penn State. And joining me now is Kian. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well on this Sunday. Very excited to see how this match turns out between Penn State and UT Dallas. I saw the last set and it was hype as hell. Hopefully we get a similar one here.
Yeah, I mean, that last set was really exciting, score aside. Every game was pretty interesting there, but now we are going to be heading into this next one here. So I believe this one is a week 2 map list, so not going to be seeing the same maps as we saw in that last set. We're going to be starting this one off with Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some interesting choices between both these teams here with the weapons. You got the Ink Brush, K-Pro, and the Splashmatic, Neo Splashmatic, excuse me, and the Jet Sculpture on Penn State's side, and then you have UT Dallas fielding the Splattershot Junior, the K shot, and then Squeezer, and I believe that's a K Rapid as well on that side. So lot of good choices on both these teams, and as we just saw, you got Penn State taking the lead.
Yeah, so a little bit of these teams really kind of just get a little bit chippy early on here, getting a couple of little picks here, but neither team able to get a commanding control of this zone, as I think this zone is already flipped 4 or 5 times, but Penn State able to finally get a couple of nice picks there and extending this lead by more than 10 points, which so far is pretty big for what you see in this game. But look at Kraken with this triple. Can Kraken get the quad? No, it's gonna have that quad stolen there, but that is a wipe nonetheless. My goodness, so now Penn State making an early statement here.
Yeah, but Penn State would start things off. You got Kraken getting that triple there, and then the quad, of course, stolen. But that is going to help extend that lead big time. Now we have to see if UT Dallas can respond. You got Seacant and the rest of the team still trying to collapse in. Looks like in terms of the ink coverage though, you still see Penn State having a bit of that control up to mid side there. But now it looks like on what we see from UT Dallas side, they are trying to push on their own side, not against mid, trying to go on the side, trying to throw off Penn State on their game, and it looks like they are able to neutralize it for now. Hopefully they can turn that into a point flip of their own.
Yeah, I mean, but there's no response here yet from UT Dallas after playing a very convincing set against UCSD, but finally able to get the neutral. Can they get the cap, though? They don't have the numbers to do so, so they just need to work with what they have. And if this is going to be anyone's game here, a little bit of a flank there, but Seek the last person standing, and this is going to be a victory for Penn State.
Man, as you mentioned though, not enough numbers to paint over the zone. You had UT Dallas trying to rush in, but not enough. None of their players were able to get over the zone. The zone was getting painted over each time by Penn State, and yet Penn State did slowly lose members, but wasn't enough at the end of that. And again, Kraken sealed it with, you got the 10 splats onto Kraken's name, and then of course the triple into the team wipe definitely sealed it for Penn State.
Wow, I mean, a phenomenal game 1 there from Penn State. UT Dallas thought that they were riding some momentum there after that UCSD match, and Penn State was like, hold up. You have not seen what we can do yet. I mean, a fantastic first game from Penn State, honestly. Just had me a little bit surprised there, but they are already having UT Dallas have to, second guess exactly what they're doing there.
Yeah, UT Dallas might have gotten the wake-up call that they were probably expecting out of this set. As we saw in the previous set, they won the set there, and then they enter into this one already behind that one map as we enter into the second one here. I mean, as you mentioned before, UT Dallas, this could shake things a little bit up, or they might ride this one out. Hopefully stick to their plan there. Yeah, but yeah, Penn State just showing up big time on that Skipper Pavilion zones map. So I'm gonna be curious to see how UT Dallas adjusts to this one.
Yeah, and with Tower Control Ink Blot on deck here as this next map mode, a couple of things that I would like to see UT Dallas respond with. Part of it is that Kraken, I think, might have almost single-handedly outplayed them there. We saw Kraken with the triple plus the assist to almost get the quad, and they really had no response there for that brush. So I think that's going to be the first thing they need to keep an eye on, because the brush can be so easy to lose track of. You just need to have everybody watching out for where that is, because it could be coming from behind you, it could be coming from in front of you, it could be coming from who knows where, because with that splashdown as well, if you aren't aware of the location of a vanilla ink brush, it can cause a lot of havoc. So I think that's the first thing that UT Dallas needs to do, and once they can, you know, sort of understand where Kraken's coming from, where they're playing, then they can start to, you know, figure out exactly how Kraken is moving up with the rest of the team, and hopefully shut down the entire team as a result.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, with Kraken still on that ink brush, especially with Penn State sticking to their same full weapons, and then you have UT Dallas. The only adjustment here was playing on the heavy Splatling remix, so a little bit of a different, longer range weapon to start things off here. I mean, as you mentioned though, UT Dallas are probably going to be respecting the heck out of Kraken there as he started going crazy from most of the set. Looks like, however, though, UT Dallas just got past checkpoint 1. I'm curious to see if they're able to continue extending this push. Looks like Penn State might be trying to collapse onto them as they do lose 1.
Yes, but UT Dallas doing a fantastic job of just keeping this pressure up, only letting that one player go down. And honestly, I mean, UT Dallas doing a fantastic job of just keeping some pressure here and not letting Penn State push back.
Yeah, and UT Dallas right now, Penn State hasn't found much of an opening. You still have UT Dallas, and UT Dallas still doing their best to neutralize the rest of Penn State as they come right along. Again though, what I'm curious to see out of UT Dallas there, as UT Dallas does lose 2 members, Penn State is responding quickly as 3 members are down for UT Dallas. Maybe this might kickstart the push that Penn State badly needs.
Yeah, and it looks like it will, as Kraken already up in the bats of UT Dallas, able to get 1 though, but does go down himself. So, but that is going to actually provide just enough time for Penn State to break through that first checkpoint and possibly get the lead. No, they're going to be just a few points shy here. Jimby trying to get back on this tower, but Penn State not going to let up here, as Kraken hanging right around that tower, hoping for an opportunity to get back on and secure the lead once and for all. And it looks like they will find just that here, as Snow is doing a fantastic job of holding the bats for now. And look at this, there is the lead for Penn State, but UT Dallas with the numbers to hopefully shut this one down, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, UT Dallas did shut this one down, but not before losing that lead to Penn State. Kraken, as you mentioned, stayed near the tower, trying to take out the remaining UT Dallas members who were trying to swarm around the tower, trying to stop that push right along. Kraken took out one of the members of UT Dallas, and then, as you mentioned, though, still definitely holding that front line. It allowed Kraken to advance up and then continue to play what I like to call the annoying brush maneuver there, trying to be as annoying as possible for UT Dallas to deal with.
Yeah, so at this point, though, it looks like UT Dallas just inches away from securing the lead, and it will go their way. +3 down. Kevin on Penn State, the last one alive, and this second checkpoint will, well, I would say will be for the taking, but Kraken actually going to try to slow this one down and is able to do so right in the nick of time. But 48 points remaining is a phenomenal place to be for UT Dallas, as this one has just gone back and forth. This has really kind of just been a game of runs so far, as either team has found opportunities to get solid pushes going to just barely extend that lead.
Yeah, and I'm liking the fact that both teams are able to find their respective openings there. You got Kraken still pushing right up ahead, and even though Penn State takes one lead, you see UT Dallas countering with their own push on the other side. The remix switch has definitely been helping out UT Dallas as well. Right now, as we see for both teams, 2 members up on both sides, and right now Kevin right now on the tower. Maybe this could be another run for Penn State here, as Kraken trying to jump right in, trying to play an annoying brush. They do trade with Kraken, and as we mentioned right here, Penn State did take the lead, but right now it's only 1 member up for both teams.
Whew, and this could be a really defining 1v1 here, but of course neither player actually going to go down, which allows for their teammates to respawn here. Harry gonna I think, smartly back up here. That wasn't a fight worth taking anymore, especially with how long that 1v1 had been going. But they are doing a good job of just keeping the pressure up once again. 40 seconds to play, and UT Dallas is the one that needs to have an answer here, but they do see themselves go 2 down. So Penn State gonna start to move up yet again onto the plat of UT Dallas.
And that's gonna be huge. And that's gonna be huge in Penn State. Oh man, though, that's 2 members down. I think that is C-Can on the double right there, which is huge. UT Dallas needs to keep this tower pushing right along in order to at least have a fighting chance to take this map here. As C-Can launched up those 10 missiles, 10 seconds left to go. It's gonna be curious to see if UT Dallas can make this one happen. They do 2 members down for Penn State. This could be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, this game of runs is gonna finish on one last run here from UT Dallas with a nice pick there on the splash, and Kevin going down as well. Kraken, though, gonna make a move for the tower and secures it. Kraken winning this one for Penn State in overtime. My goodness.
Yeah, Kraken rushed in, took control of the tower. Man, 5 points short of the marker. That, again, as you mentioned, game of runs. You have one team making 1 run to take the lead. The other team has another run to take the lead. Then the same team has another run to take the lead. UT Dallas had one last run on them to see if they can take it over, and they failed, and they just fell short. And as you mentioned, Kraken jumped in on that tower to secure it. One thing I did notice, though, on that final push, though, both members of UT Dallas went off the tower at probably the worst time, which left Kraken an opening to hop in on that tower and secure it for Penn State. And Penn State is two maps in, and we're approaching our 3rd.
Wow, I mean, Penn State really just came out swinging. They had a rough couple of weeks leading into this last set here, but it seems like they have started to hit their stride, which is fantastic to see from an up-and-coming collegiate Splatoon team. And I mean, it could not have come at a better time. So they now see themselves up 2-0, and UT Dallas starting to reel here, trying to find some answers to keep themselves in this, because they're in the complete opposite situation that they were in match number 1, where they were up 2-0 on UCSD. Now they see themselves in an 0-2 deficit, trying to prevent the reverse sweep being the necessity to win.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can still definitely come back and take the set. It's gonna take an important 4 maps, maybe 5, depending on how the rest of the maps go. But yeah, being down 2-0 in maps is going to be an interesting feat to accomplish here, as it looks like both teams are about to load in. And I think the primary weapon swap is now Piri on Penn State in charge of the 96 gal there, and then we got the Tri-Slosher Nouveau on Nito's side. So slightly different weapons, but pretty much similar 3 for the rest of the other members here. Curious to see how both teams approach Rainmaker on Starfish being safe here.
And Perry gonna be picking up this Rainmaker very quickly. That's 3 down on the side of UT Dallas. This is gonna be a huge first push out of the gate for Penn State. But Snow there overextending just a little bit, but a fantastic find by Perry to get another pick on UT Dallas. And slowly moving up now, gonna run into a second ball, barely avoiding that one. And 45-41 remaining on a first push out of UT Dallas. But look at Kraken making the play here, bringing that all the way down to 20, cutting that points remaining in half. But look at Snow as well. My goodness, this is a whole team effort here from Penn State to make clutch play after clutch play to give themselves a convincing lead in the first minute.
I mean, yeah, that was a very fast team fight. Oh my goodness, they were trying to still wrestle for more points. I love the tenacity out of Penn State to keep this push going. Still just taking out members right here, though. They were trading 1 for 1. But as we mentioned, though, Penn State getting the early advantage right away, and they were definitely playing patient with that Rainmaker until they felt like it was the right time to push, and that was the greatest way to approach it. Rainmaker, however, is going to reset, though, so this might give UT Dallas a chance to recuperate and possibly get a better push if they're able to play this one right. But right now, Penn State is locking down that mid-control side, so it's going to be curious to see if they can come back.
Yeah, I mean, UT Dallas does have 2 specials online to work with here, but it looks like that those specials are going to have to come out defensively, as Perry, once again, picking up the Rainmaker for Penn State. And that's 3 down. That's a wipe! That's a wipe! Penn State has an open window this to the pedestal, but no, actually getting shut down there by, I think, a really clutch bomb from UT Dallas. So UT Dallas finds themselves an opportunity here to keep themselves in it, but Jimby picking up that Rainmaker, getting shut down by Kraken, and now gonna pick up this Rainmaker once more, adding on just a couple more points. Penn State just inches away from winning this one, but clutch bombs, clutch picks from UT Dallas to keep themselves in this. And wow, I mean, this is just going to be a huge uphill battle at this stage for them.
Yep, Penn State getting the instant wipe. They almost secured it down. As you mentioned, though, the clutch bomb definitely securing it, though, for UT Dallas's defense there. But yeah, UT Dallas has a lot of points to make up for. They have to start stopping the rest of Penn State to see their push going. They can't afford to lose too many members, so the Tri-Slosh Nouveau just went down, and 2 members already down. Penn State still trying to keep up with the aggression.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State is doing a fantastic job here. Look at Snow, way off in the distance, just trying to hold it down while this Rainmaker slowly works its way back. Finally gonna get shut down there, but is it too little too late? No. Seekin's still able to keep this one going, but no, look at that! A sneaky play from behind to knock this one out, and Penn State goes up 3 games to none.
I think UT Dallas is a little shocked by what's happening here, though. Penn State out of the gates playing incredible in the first 3 maps, and Snow, the hero on this map alone, has been playing great in this Rainmaker Starfish main stage, finding the necessary picks to get this Penn State push going. And man, Penn State out of the gate have been playing a fantastic set.
I am honestly like shocked right now. I mean, Penn State.
Same.
This is a completely new Penn State team. They are playing the best Splatoon that they have ever played in their young career as a team. And I am thoroughly impressed right now. UT Dallas, I mean, it also might just be the result that UT Dallas playing this double header here. This is their 8th game, going into their 9th game so far of the day, and it could be starting to catch up to them. I mean, look at Penn State though right now. They're all readied up. They already know what the game plan is. That's UT Dallas' side of like, hey, like they're bringing up the safe stuff because they know this is what is working against us. And now it's up to us to find that response. How do we deal with Snow being just ultra aggressive, Kraken making sneaky plays with the brush, Perry doing an excellent job of just commanding these pushes, pushing the objective, and Kevin just kind of honestly doing a fantastic job of filling in exactly what is necessary for Penn State whenever someone goes down. I
mean, Penn State, as you mentioned, has been playing incredible, and yeah, UT Dallas. I mean, that's the ultimate question. How does UT Dallas respond with this sort of aggression from Snow and Kraken? Fury playing for the objective, and then definitely Kevin playing to help assist the rest of the team. I mean, UT Dallas, as you mentioned, though, they are approaching their 9th map here, and that's a lot of maps to be playing on a double header. So I'm gonna be curious to see if UT Dallas can reset here and see if they can take Clam Blitz map, excuse me.
I mean, it's all or nothing now for UT Dallas. So they're gonna have to come up with some sort of response here, trying to meet the aggression of Penn State that they've just not had an answer for yet. And starting out, it looks like we're just going to kind of get a little bit of a bloodbath here in mid, as UT Dallas finally seeing an early numbers advantage work out in their favor with a delayed 3 down on Penn State. And look at this, the basket is wide open now. Jimmy going to be putting the first points in the basket for the Comet Blasters.
Yeah, more clams are being pushed in right now for UT Dallas. UT Dallas finding a quick opening, and yeah, Penn State just quickly losing that fight right out of the gate is giving that UT Dallas the much needed opening. And something I just noticed, though, some slightly different weapons here. I think we're seeing a lot more closer range weapons that UT Dallas is primarily working with. I think I saw the NZAP 85, the K-Shot, and the Neo Splash-O-Matic. A lot of closer range weapons, and then they're backed up with the VDS right here as well. So definitely some different weapon choices on UT Dallas' side. Maybe this and let's see how Penn State can respond to this one. Kraken Splashdown gets Nito.
And the Booyah Bomb now going to be coming out from Perry. So it looks like PSU trying to push up. They don't necessarily have the clans to make anything happen yet, but by just keeping this aggression up, hopefully the clans will start to spawn, and they'll have a quick and easy opportunity at the basket. But it looks like UT Dallas, though, trying to hold down mid here to prevent anything from happening with PSU, but look at that, 3 down once again. But this time it's gonna be on the side of UT Dallas, and Penn State with the quick response here. And missiles coming out though from Useless from Secant, and Penn State one clam away from getting this lead, but no clutch stop there to shut down that extra power grab going in, making it 2 clutch stops. And UT Dallas somehow gonna be holding on to this lead.
Again, the highlight of this one again, the UT Dallas defense holding strong. Yeah, Kraken opened things up with getting the double, but again, UT Dallas's defense is absolutely clutch. The pity clam switch jump, I like to call that, almost cashed in for UT Dallas to take the, or excuse me, Penn State to take the lead on that one, but instead it is stopped just short, and UT Dallas is saves them the lead more importantly. But members are, however, going down. Again, Penn State wipes the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, they did get that one power climate. It just wasn't worth it. I don't think so, because they only got that one power climb in, so that is going to provide PSU with some free ammunition here to start leading off a push of their own in response to this wipe. But I mean, look at that, 23 clams in their pockets to work with, plus 2 specials. UT Dallas needs to gear up for a huge defensive stop, because Penn State is knocking at the door right now.
Yeah, Penn State, look at the amount of clams they have. Well, as soon as I say that, though, members are slowly dropping there. That was Kraken indeed going down earlier here, so Penn State still have to find some openings, though. UT Dallas's offense is, however, is stopping Penn State. Penn State cannot get a push right along, and here's the flank from behind, and more members going down just like that. So yeah, Penn State, as much as they are having clamps in, they just can't find that opening to go in. UT Dallas has the power climb, and they're able to clash that one in right just now.
Yeah, and that's the lead for UT Dallas, and a couple of picks on top of it. And all the way down to 15 points remaining, a huge push out of UT Dallas, but Kraken gonna try to shut this one down, able to do so there. 2 clams is all that UT Dallas needs here, but they're not gonna be able to get them. So with a minute to play, I think UT Dallas now needs to shift their focus from offense to defense, because they don't need to make anything else happen in these closing 40 seconds here. They just need to play some smart defense, unless they could get someone to sneak on through. But I mean, look at Penn State, 3 specials, 36 clans to work with, and this can be really dangerous.
Yes, 3 power clams online right now for Penn State. Penn State takes out 3! That's 3 power clams about to be cashed in right now, but they still don't have the lead. They gotta get 5 more, and they took the lead. 1 clam remains. They just gotta find 1 for the KO.
But where is it? There's Kraken with it, and they are gonna get the knockout! Wow!
Oh,
Penn State sweeping this set 4-0. What?
Oh!
What a set from Penn State! My goodness!
Penn State, 3 power clams. All they needed to do was win an important fight at the tail end of that to cash on all 3. 3 members down for UT Dallas opened the door, and they kept that push going right along. And as you mentioned, the clean sweep. Penn State on another level right now. I don't know where else to go with this. Penn State just played that one out of their minds.
They really did. I don't know what the grind has been like for Penn State, but it's clear that they have been grinding real hard to get here. And I think the crazy thing about this is that coming into this set, UT Dallas was looking at securing the 2nd seed but I believe after that set, they are probably. I think they drop down to the 4th seed to go into the playoffs, which is insane.
And I'm looking at the standings right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's a three-way tie though, as well for 1 and 2. So we gotta be up to date on the tiebreakers side of the fence. But yeah, if it holds, my goodness, oh, I don't think there's enough to talk about with Penn State with how well they played all the first 4 maps. Just it's as you mentioned, whatever ground they were on. It paid off in dividends in their first series win in Division A, and this is just incredible work out of Penn State.
At the very least, this is validation for myself and the TOs that we got this right. I mean, because we have a triangle of victories now that was completed here today with this doubleheader. We have UCSD beating Penn State 4-0, then Penn State beating the Comet Blasters in this set 4-0, and the Comet Blasters beating UCSD 4-1. And this is gonna make things real interesting for the standings to head into the playoffs. ITAP was sitting pretty at 3-0. UCSD did give them a good run for their money, and this has made me so much more excited for the CCA League playoffs for Division A, which is going to be coming in the next couple weeks as we sort of figure out the logistics for that. But as I update the standings here, unofficially, I can say that ITAP is the #1 seed. UCSD should be sitting at the 2nd seed. And Comet Blasters and Penn State actually tied for the 3rd seed. But I believe based on tiebreaker rules, which I don't know, which I will have to double check, but I believe this should put Penn State in the 3rd seed.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely double check the tapes here to see how this thing is fair out. I'm gonna be really excited to see how playoff turns out in this division because, as you mentioned, the triangle of victories between the 3 teams, and especially UCSD giving Purdue a run of their money earlier. I mean, this could be some very close sets entering the coming into the playoffs, and we could be seeing some big matches. Or some very hype ones, especially between all 4 of these teams. So I'm gonna be curious to see how that one goes.
Yeah, same. I have no idea what's ultimately gonna happen, but it's gonna be fun nonetheless. As here in CCA tradition, playing out all 7 games for the fun of it. And we have a very high-scoring affair here in the opening 2 minutes. As Penn State already closing in on 10 points remaining, UT Dallas able to flip this zone back in their favor. So I don't know if I've really seen a Albacore Splat Zone game this high scoring from both teams in 2 minutes.
I don't think I've seen it often. Whenever they do happen, it happens with a lot of force there, as members are slowly dropping a bit here. Suction Bomb Rush is, Suction Bomb Launcher, let's call it that, has came in, trying to wrestle control on the other side. It's like UT Dallas is able to steer it just now, as members are going down. UT Dallas just won that one. They're going to be able to keep the zone alive.
Yeah, so out of the penalty for UT Dallas, and they should be able to get this lead here with Clayton getting a nice kick there on Kevin. And now Penn State with no response here. That's a wipe, so UT Dallas gonna be picking up their first win here post-recorded match. So honestly, if you're UT Dallas, you're feeling a little bit better now. Unfortunately, 4-0 is what goes down in the record books here, but hey, at least you managed to get a little bit of vengeance here.
And definitely the most important thing for UT Dallas is definitely getting that all-important win, even after the recorded map set is said and done, because yeah, if getting swept 4-0 is definitely not the greatest feeling, but then especially but as you mentioned, with tradition, played all 7 maps, and then winning that 5th one definitely feels, I think for UT Dallas, a lot of relief. Finally winning that map in order to keep themselves a little hyped up, a little positive coming out of the set, and of course, get right into their 6th map here in the Reef Tower Control. I'm pretty sure as long as they can win some maps, they'll feel happy about it at the end of the day too.
Yeah, it would almost be humorous if UT Dallas comes and sweeps these next 3 games, because that's how close this set actually is between these two. I think Penn State really only had one sort of decisive victory in that Rainmaker Starfish game. I think that was just a really, really strong effort from PSU from start to finish, where UT Dallas had zero response. But honestly, I would be happy. I think if UT Dallas would have swept this, it would just be unfortunate for them that none of those games matter. But at the same time, a nice little sense of relief of like, okay, we can still do this. It's, just was a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah, Penn State, as you mentioned, with that dominating win on Rainmaker Starfish Spain State, also to add the splat zones on Skip Pavilion to also note was also pretty much Penn State wreaking havoc on that one too. But as you mentioned, the other 2 maps were really close, and I know UT Dallas would like to have the other 3 maps if they were to win them. Actually, excuse me, they just won the 5th one there. I mean, as you mentioned though, even though it isn't going to get recorded, you still want to leave this set knowing that you can win any of these 7 maps at the end of the day, because yeah, if you end losing all 7 maps, it would not be the greatest feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely the case. But let's go ahead and jump into this friendly game 6 here, with Kraken switching over to that Clash Blaster, and Clang bringing out what I like to call the Baja Blaster. Shout out to the Wiggly fans out there, we still miss you.
I gotta love a good old Baja Blaster, or the Grim Range as well. From really in any Splatoon match, it's always fun to see the Grim Range Blaster be played in full effect here. And pretty much and on the other side as well, on Penn State side, pretty much your standard, as you mentioned, Clash Blaster on Kraken's side. Kraken going nutty with the brush. Maybe we can see Kraken go crazy with the Blaster here as well.
I mean, yeah, possibly. But look at this, UT Dallas though, with this commanding first push here, no response from PSU to slow this one down. And I mean, that tends to be the case sometimes with tower control on the reef. When it goes around the tree, that tends to be free real estate. It's really hard to stop the push when it's around there. But this is where it starts to matter, is once you reach that second checkpoint and the area between second and third checkpoint, being so close together. And PSU, I think they were hoping to get a little bit of a stop earlier there, because they did let that second checkpoint slip, but they'll take it where it's currently at, because that's still workable. It's still workable on the reef to come back from that and try to take the lead, because this is one of those, I think, tower control maps where it almost plays a little bit like Rainmaker, just because of the path of the tower, where no lead is really safe.
And especially with the fact that there's a lot of time on it too. And as you mentioned, yeah, I in pretty much Reef Tower Control, yeah, any of the lead that you would generally have in this map can easily be flipped around. And as you mentioned, around the first checkpoint and onto the second one, that is, as you mentioned, very free. But then second, third, this is where you can start seeing the defense completely appear big time as, oh my goodness, that's a wipe!
Wow. So Penn State gonna get a nice clean wipe here. Kevin bringing out the Stingray to try to slow things down for UT Dallas as they come in and try to make some desperation plays. And alas, this third checkpoint will fall as well. Almost gonna get a knockout here with Perry gonna hop onto tower as the last member of Penn State. Can UT Dallas get there in time? Yes, they do! And with 2 points remaining, UT Dallas able to keep themselves in the game, but now this is a really difficult lead to overcome. Once you get past that third checkpoint, that's where things really start to fall apart. UT Dallas really lucky to, have gotten that stop there, and it came right in time. Kudos to them for pulling that off. But that's really hard to break through that third checkpoint and push on. So a little bit of struggle here in this next 2 minutes for UT Dallas.
And the important thing too for Penn State is if the defense completely falls apart between the second and third checkpoint, it could completely spiral out of control. UT Dallas, as you mentioned, they're very fortunate to get the stop, but 2 points remaining. Virtually, they're gonna need a KO or something similar to that in order to get this tower control win there. And members are slowly falling for UT Dallas, 2 down already. So Penn State's defense is still definitely holding up, and now they still got to find a way to break through that second and third checkpoint, and Penn State's just playing this one very well.
Yeah, I mean, UT Dallas was able to tack on an extra point there, so this push is definitely still possible. It just, continues to be an uphill battle as Penn State returning this tower to mid and actually going to be pushing this around the tree. So, gonna, I guess, try to push this tower as far as possible, make UT Dallas take the tower coast to coast, which is going to take a lot of time to do, and gives Penn State plenty of opportunities to stop this tower should it go into overtime.
More importantly for now, for Penn State, how do you keep playing this one right along? They are still playing this one very aggressively, trying to make sure UT Dallas doesn't have an opening to work with, though. It is, of course, the Reef, and as you mentioned, you cannot afford to have your defense crumble at the worst possible moment there. The tower is back at neutral, and 2 members are down for Penn State, but still not much of a place for UT Dallas to start pushing. Now they're going to try to start pushing with 22 seconds left to go. Going to be curious to see how their offense holds. They do lose one of their members, though.
Yeah, 15 seconds to play, though. At the very least, they do have control of this tower around that tree. It does give them time to get their numbers back up, which they are able to do here. But backing off this tower might not be what they need to do here. They need to maintain control of this tower here. And with 2 people on the tower for UT Dallas, they are able to take a loss there. And this could be it. The 3rd checkpoint falling for UT Dallas. Can they come back and win this? Bubbles coming out to buy them some time.
Oh, man.
Yes. No, wait. Did they get it? I think they got it.
I think they definitely got it. I think I just saw UT Dallas clutch that one at the very end of that, and they did. They clutched the lead.
Wow. You could not physically get a higher scoring game without a knockout occurring. And 99 to 98, both of these teams within inches of a KO. UT Dallas showing what we had been seeing in that first match, which is great positioning there, great teamwork to push the objective and make one decisive push to secure the lead once and for all. So kudos to UT Dallas there for making an incredible come from behind victory. This set, I guess, is technically 4-2 now, but it's just unfortunate that those 2 games don't matter in the record books, but they do matter in terms of your team synergy and confidence as you proceed into the playoffs.
And especially team morale there as well. Definitely, that was an awesome comeback from UT Dallas, and I mentioned a couple times, if the defense crumbles between that second and third checkpoint, it can completely spiral out of control, and that's what basically happened there on Penn State. And again, kudos to UT Dallas. They played that last push very well. It got a little scary with them leaving off the tower. Tower was maybe a few seconds left to go until overtime, but yeah, UT Dallas offense kicked in. They took out the Penn State defense there between the second and third checkpoint, and that's what kept going for UT Dallas. And then they just kept rolling right along until it was 1 point remaining for that tower control.
I mean, and honestly, I feel like that was really reminiscent of the tower control in Game 2 on Iqbal Art Academy, where it was a game of runs. And I feel like that's exactly what we got there on the Reef, where one team made a good run, followed by the next team making a good run, and the lead was slowly pushed until it was a really high-scoring affair that ended up going into overtime. But this time, UT Dallas does come out on top. But let's go ahead and jump into our final game of the set, Rainmaker on Wahoo World. A couple of interesting adjustments here. Nito bringing out the Australian special with that Sploosh 7. But not an Australian special comp. I just associate with Australia at this point for Rainmaker.
And I like some interesting choices here. Kane Dynamo as well coming out of Penn State there, and I think this is a different member on UT Dallas with the Tri-Slasher Novo. So some different weapons across board for Wahoo Rainmaker. So we're curious to see how this one goes as the hammer was dished out and members are slowly falling for Penn State 2 down already.
and UT Dallas going to start inching this Rainmaker forward. A nice pick there on the Dynamo, and make that a second nice pick for Klang, who's rocking the Tri-Slosh and Nevo. I guess UT Dallas must be switching things up here, because that should be Nito on the Tri-Slosher right now. But it's working.
I thought it was going a little crazy. I was like, is that a different member on UT Dallas holding that Tri-Slosher? And surely enough, I was definitely not mistaken there. Klang definitely showing that Klang can play a very good Tri-Slosher there. Already 4 splats to Klang's name right out of the gate. But right now, though, they don't have control of that Rainmaker. That is right now Perry on with that Rainmaker. Definitely going down, though. As going to be curious to see how this one turns right along. Both members falling quickly, though. It's 3 members down. The second one just respawned in. And right now, Penn State slowly getting some control back, and now they have the Rainmaker.
Penn State doing an excellent job here of responding to that first push from UT Dallas, establishing control of mid, getting a couple of nice picks there. We did see a delayed wipe earlier, but they weren't able to capitalize on it. And now with 2 down yet again on UT Dallas, can they do it this time? UT Dallas doing a fantastic job, actually, of trying to, keep the Rainmaker out of Penn State's hand. I think that might have been a little bit of a sloppy play from UT Dallas there to forcefully keep the Rainmaker away from them. But it's somehow actually still working out for them, as despite going down, they were able to clean up whatever members of PSU stayed behind. But a move for the Rainmaker now from PSU not going to be any good, as the Rainmaker is going to reset before they can make anything happen. But look at how aggressive Penn State is playing now. They are doing everything they can to just keep ink on the UT Dallas half of the map, so that way they have plenty of real estate to work with on this push. But also UT Dallas just dropping in from all sorts of angles here to stop this push. And this Rainmaker match is just being entirely played on the UT Dallas half of the map, with Penn State trying to get a push going. UT Dallas just letting this Rainmaker consistently reset.
And right now, UT Dallas is having to play a lot more defensively, because, as you mentioned, the Rainmaker is just so close to their side of the map. So right now, UT Dallas is playing this a little defensively, but now with the Rainmaker is thankfully resetting for them. Gonna be curious to see if they can get as much ink as they can down on Penn State's side, as they're still being pushed by all sorts of aggressions there, as 3 members down for UT Dallas.
Look at Nito, though. Nito with a nice double, making a triple. Nito's team goes 3 down, but Nito responds with taking 3 members out of PSU on his own. Wow. A fantastic response from Nito following some great sharking there. And this is probably one of the lowest scoring Wahoo World Rainmaker games I have seen.
It's still very close, though, too. So, of course, anything can happen within the last minute. As you mentioned, though, UT Dallas was quickly dropping. Nito definitely saving that push from getting any more for Penn State. As you mentioned, Nito with the clutch triple. And now the Rainmaker is thankfully resetting. So, we can see what happens here. It looks like the Rainmaker is about to pop momentarily, though. 35 seconds left. Gonna see how this one... Curious to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, and with 2 down on the side of UT Dallas, this could be an opportunity for Penn State to make their move. But I mean, Kraken gonna be picking up this Rainmaker, 20 seconds to go. They don't need to go far to get the lead, but they are missing a lot of numbers here. Kraken gonna drop this onto the carousel and try to make a move here. But no, look at this! Multiple members of UT Dallas throwing ink down from above, and this one should be all said and done here, as UT Dallas is gonna half reverse sweep this, as I'm gonna put this, sweeping the last 3 games at the conclusion of the official match. I mean, fantastic work there from UT Dallas. I'm not even sure if they were interested in pushing the Rainmaker anymore after they got it to about 60 remaining, because they just said, hey, we're gonna play defense for 3.5 minutes, and you guys are gonna like it.
I mean, that is very smart, though, considering the fact that Penn State was going crazy aggressive as much as they can on that Rainmaker push, trying to see if they can keep finding ways to take the lead. Of course, though, the UT Dallas defense holds, and there was almost an opportunity for Kraken to take this one for Penn State and giving Penn State a much-needed opening, but just fell a little bit short. And as you mentioned, UT Dallas winning the next 3 maps after the conclusion of the official set, though, definitely going to help the team morale by a lot, knowing the fact that they can still win the maps and not end losing all 7.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that sentiment there. A fantastic set from both of these teams. So UT Dallas did a fantastic job just pushing up as a team there in those last 3, definitely spinning this one on its head. Forcing Penn State to, have to find some new sort of responses there. So I think that one, it just took a little bit of time for UT Dallas to find the right answers. But that is going to do it for our double header. We had so much fun last time. I hope you all had fun this time with another double header here for the CCA League. Keon, thank you so much for joining me for this second set. Where can the people of our chat find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch, of course, as Keon2570. I stream basically a whole lot of things, but I'm definitely picking up a lot more Splatoon, even though Splatoon 3 is gonna be coming out later on. But I'm still gonna pick up any more Splatoon streams as much as I can. See if I can continue on that ranked grind. See if I can finally make it. See if I can finally make it to S plus or in a crazy shot X.
All right. Well, yeah, be sure to go check out Keon on his platforms there. But as for myself, DRF_Splatoon on Twitter and Twitch, Triton DRF. That's going to go ahead and do it for us here in the booth. Thank you all so much for joining us here. We're still going to have some Division B matchups to stream through the rest of that regular season. And the Division A playoffs should be coming up soon. More information on Discord. Thank you all so much for joining us once again, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.